Question 1. Title search and examination. During a title search for a residential property, you discover a recorded lien from a contractor who performed work on the property 5 years ago. The lien was never released. Which of the following is the most appropriate action for resolving this issue? A. Issue a title insurance policy excluding the lien from coverage and proceed with the closing. B. Notify the property owner to pay the lien amount before closing the transaction. C. Contact the contractor to confirm if the lien has been satisfied and obtain a release document if necessary. D. Ignore the lien since it is over 5 years old and presumed to be invalid. Answer. C. Contact the contractor to confirm if the lien has been satisfied and obtain a release document if necessary. Explanation. A lien is a legal claim against a property for unpaid debt. Even though the lien is 5 years old, it remains valid until formally released. Title search procedures require verifying the status of such liens to ensure they are satisfied before closing. Ignoring the lien or issuing the policy that excludes it could lead to future claims against the title. Therefore, contacting the contractor to confirm the lien's status and obtaining a release is crucial to clear the title and proceed with the transaction. According to Maine title insurance regulations, unresolved liens must be addressed to ensure a clean title transfer. Question 2. Title insurance policies. What is the primary difference between a standard coverage owner's policy and an extended coverage owner's policy in Maine? A. Standard coverage protects only against defects recorded in public records, while extended coverage includes additional protections against unrecorded issues. B. Extended coverage is only available for commercial properties, whereas standard coverage applies to residential properties. C. Standard coverage includes all potential defects, while extended coverage excludes certain defects for a low premium. D. Extended coverage provides protection against title defects known to the seller, while standard coverage does not. Answer. A. Standard coverage protects only against defects recorded in public records, while extended coverage includes additional protections against unrecorded issues. Explanation. Standard coverage owners' policies provide protection against title defects that are recorded in public records and generally cover risks such as ownership disputes. Extended coverage policies go beyond this by including additional protections against issues not typically recorded, such as certain encroachments, boundary disputes, and unrecorded liens. This makes extended coverage more comprehensive but also more costly. Understanding these differences is crucial for determining the appropriate level of protection based on the specific risks associated with a property. Question 3. Scenario-based question. MS. Linda Clark is purchasing a home and the title search reveals an easement granted to a neighboring property for access purposes. The easement is not disclosed in the property sales contract. What should MS. Clark do before proceeding with the purchase? A. Proceed with the purchase as long as the easement is recorded and legally valid, as it does not affect the sale. B. Negotiate a discount on the purchase price with the seller due to the existence of the easement. C. Request a detailed explanation from the seller regarding the easement and its impact on her property and consider an endorsement to her title policy. D. Demand that the seller remove the easement from the title before completing the purchase. Answer. C. Request a detailed explanation from the seller regarding the easement and its impact on her property and consider an endorsement to her title policy. Explanation. An easement is a legal right for a third party to use a portion of the property. MS. Clark should first understand how the easement affects her property and its potential impact on her use of the property. By requesting an explanation from the seller, she can gain clarity on any limitations or obligations related to the easement. Additionally, considering an endorsement to her title policy can provide additional protection against any issues arising from the easement. It is not feasible to remove a legally recorded easement, and negotiating a discount or proceeding without addressing the issue could lead to unforeseen complications. Title insurance endorsements can help protect against such risks by covering specific issues related to easements. Question 4. Legal and regulatory framework. Which of the following is true about Maine's regulations regarding the licensing requirements for title insurance agents? A. Title insurance agents must complete a minimum of 20 hours of pre-licensing education and pass a state exam. B. Maine does not require title insurance agents to be licensed as long as they work under a licensed title insurance company. C. Title insurance agents must have a bachelor's degree in business or law to be eligible for licensing. D. Title insurance agents in Maine are only required to obtain continuing education credits every 5 years. Answer. 8. Title insurance agents must complete a minimum of 20 hours of pre-licensing education and pass a state exam. Explanation. In Maine, title insurance agents are required to complete 20 hours of pre-licensing education and successfully pass a state examination to obtain their license. This requirement ensures that agents have the necessary knowledge and skills to perform their duties effectively. The other options are incorrect as they either misrepresent the requirements or are not applicable under Maine's regulatory framework for title insurance. Question 5. Title search and examination. When analyzing a legal description in a title search, what is the key element that must be verified to ensure accuracy? A. The legal description must match the property's physical address exactly. B. The legal description should align with the boundaries described in the property's deed and previous documents. C. The legal description must include the names of all prior owners of the property. D. The legal description must be certified by a licensed appraiser. Answer. B. The legal description should align with the boundaries described in the property's deed and previous documents. Explanation. A legal description is a crucial part of the title search and must accurately reflect the property's boundaries as described in the deed and previous documents. This ensures that the title is clear and unencumbered by boundary disputes or errors. The other options are incorrect because the physical address does not necessarily match the legal description. Prior owners' names are not required in the description, and certification by an appraiser is not a standard requirement for legal descriptions. Question 6. Title insurance policies. An ALTA endorsement provides additional coverage beyond the standard title insurance policy. Which of the following endorsements is specifically designed to cover against zoning issues? A. ALTA 9. Zoning endorsement. B. ALTA 4. Environmental protection endorsement. C. ALTA 5. Variable rate endorsement. D. ALTA 6. Access endorsement. Answer. A. ALTA 9. Zoning endorsement. Explanation. The ALTA 9 endorsement is specifically designed to provide coverage against zoning issues which can affect the property's use and value. It covers risks associated with the property not conforming to zoning laws or regulations. The other endorsements cover different aspects, such as environmental protection or access issues, and do not address zoning risks directly. Question 7. Risk management and claims handling. If a title insurance claim is filed due to a previously unknown encumbrance, what is the first step the title insurance company should take? A. Immediately deny the claim and inform the policyholder that the issue is not covered. B. Conduct an investigation to determine the validity and impact of the encumbrance. C. Provide a settlement offer to the policyholder without investigating the claim. D. Request that the policyholder resolves the encumbrance directly with the affected party. Answer. B. Conduct an investigation to determine the validity and impact of the encumbrance. Explanation. Upon receiving a title insurance claim, the insurance company must first investigate the claim to assess the validity of the encumbrance and its impact on the title. This investigation ensures that the company can determine whether the encumbrance is covered by the policy and decide on the appropriate resolution. Denying the claim outright or settling without investigation would not adhere to the proper claims handling procedures. Requesting the policyholder to resolve the issue directly is also not appropriate, as it is the insurance company's responsibility to address covered claims. Question 8. Closing and settlement. During the closing process, if a settlement statement lists an incorrect amount for prorated property taxes, what should be the immediate course of action? A. Proceed with the closing and correct the tax amount in the final statement. B. Notify all parties involved and adjust the settlement statement to reflect the accurate prorated amount before closing. C. Cancel the closing until the tax amount is verified with the local tax authority. D. Accept the incorrect amount as it is and address any discrepancies after the closing. Answer. B. Notify all parties involved and adjust the settlement statement to reflect the accurate prorated amount before closing. Explanation. It is essential to ensure that the settlement statement accurately reflects all financial details, including prorated property taxes. Any discrepancies should be corrected before proceeding with the closing to avoid potential disputes or issues. Adjusting the statement to correct the tax amount ensures that all parties have accurate and agreed upon figures. Cancelling the closing or addressing discrepancies after the closing could lead to complications and delays. Question 9. Practical applications. In a scenario where a title search reveals a recently recorded restrictive covenant, which of the following steps is most appropriate for handling this situation? A. Ignore the covenant if it does not affect the buyer's intended use of the property. B. Ensure the buyer is fully informed about the restrictive covenant and its implications on the property use. C. Remove the restrictive covenant from the public records before proceeding with the sale. D. Proceed with the sale, but request a waiver from the covenant's restrictions. Answer: B. Ensure the buyer is fully informed about the restrictive covenant and its implications on the property use. Explanation: restrictive covenants impose limitations on how property can be used and must be disclosed to potential buyers. The buyer should be fully informed about the existence and impact of such covenants before completing the purchase. Ignoring, removing, or waiving the covenant is not appropriate, as it can lead to legal issues and disputes. Ensuring that the buyer understands the covenant helps prevent future conflicts and ensures a clear title transfer. Question 10. Theoretical knowledge. What principle of title insurance is primarily concerned with protecting against losses arising from defects that are not recorded in public records? A. Principle of indemnity. B. Principle of subrogation. C. Principle of risk of loss. D. Principle of risk avoidance. Answer: C. Principle of risk of loss. Explanation: the principle of risk of loss in title insurance addresses coverage for losses arising from title defects that are not recorded in public records. This principle ensures that policyholders are protected from unrecorded risks that could affect their property rights. The other principles focus on different aspects, such as indemnifying losses, principle of indemnity, transferring rights to recover losses, principle of subrogation and avoiding risks, principle of risk avoidance, but do not specifically cover unrecorded defects. Question 11. Title search and examination. If a title search reveals a prior mortgage that has not been properly released, what should be the primary concern for the title examiner? A. The examiner should verify if the mortgage was paid off and obtain a satisfaction document from the lender. B. The examiner should assume the mortgage is invalid due to age and proceed without further action. C. The examiner should contact the property owner to negotiate the mortgage payoff before proceeding with the transaction. D. The examiner should proceed with the transaction and ignore the mortgage since it is not currently in. Answer: A. The examiner should verify if the mortgage was paid off and obtain a satisfaction document from the lender. Explanation: an unreleased prior mortgage remains a valid lien on the property. It is crucial for the title examiner to confirm whether the mortgage has been paid off by obtaining a satisfaction document from the lender. This step ensures that the title is free of encumbrances that could affect the buyer's interest. Assuming the mortgage is invalid due to its age or ignoring it without proper verification could lead to future title disputes or financial liabilities. Question 12. Title insurance policies. Which of the following scenarios is typically covered by a standard owner's title insurance policy but not by an extended coverage policy? A. Claims resulting from zoning violations affecting the property's use. B. Claims due to fraud or forgery in the execution of deeds. C. Claims arising from prior unrecorded easements. D. Claims related to boundary disputes with neighboring properties. Answer: B. Claims due to fraud or forgery in the execution of deeds. Explanation: standard owners' title insurance policies typically cover issues like fraud or forgery in the execution of deeds, which can be critical in validating ownership rights. Extended coverage policies, however, provide additional protections against issues such as zoning violations, unrecorded easements, and boundary disputes. Understanding the extent of coverage in each type of policy is essential for assessing the risk and protection levels. Question 13. Legal and regulatory framework. Under Maine law, which of the following practices is considered unethical for title insurance agents? A. Accepting gifts from clients as long as they are disclosed. B. Providing inaccurate or misleading information about the coverage of title insurance policies. C. Offering discounts on title insurance premiums based on the volume of business. D. Recommending a specific title insurance provider to clients. Answer: B. Providing inaccurate or misleading information about the coverage of title insurance policies. Explanation: title insurance agents are required to provide accurate and honest information about the coverage of title insurance policies. Providing misleading or incorrect information can lead to legal and ethical violations. Accepting gifts, offering discounts based on business volume, and recommending providers are not inherently unethical if done transparently and within regulatory guidelines. However, ensuring the accuracy of policy information is critical to maintaining ethical standards and protecting clients' interests. Question 14. Closing and settlement. If an escrow account is found to have a discrepancy during the settlement process, what should the escrow officer's immediate action be? A. Complete the settlement and address the discrepancy after closing. B. Inform all parties involved. Investigate the discrepancy and resolve it before completing the settlement. C. Adjust the escrow balance unilaterally to proceed with closing. D. Ignore the discrepancy if it is less than $100. Answer: B. Inform all parties involved to investigate the discrepancy and resolve it before completing the settlement. Explanation: any discrepancies in the escrow account must be addressed before completing the settlement to ensure that all financial aspects are accurate and agreed upon by all parties. Investigating and resolving discrepancies prevents potential disputes and ensures a smooth transaction. Ignoring discrepancies or adjusting balances unilaterally can lead to legal issues and dissatisfaction among parties involved. Question 15. Risk management and claims handling. What is the primary purpose of the principle of indemnity in title insurance? A. To ensure the insured party is compensated for the full value of the property regardless of the defect. B. To provide protection against risks not listed in the policy. C. To compensate the insured party only for actual financial loss suffered due to title defects. D. To limit the insurer's liability to the amount of the policy coverage. Answer: C. To compensate the insured party only for actual financial loss suffered due to title defects. Explanation: the principle of indemnity in title insurance is designed to compensate the insured only for actual financial losses incurred due to title defects, rather than for the full value of the property or for risks not covered by the policy. This principle ensures that the insurer pays for the loss experienced by the insured but does not cover more than what is necessary to make the insured whole. It focuses on actual financial damage rather than speculative or potential losses. Question 16. Practical applications. When reviewing a title commitment, what should the title examiner specifically check to ensure compliance with lender requirements? A. Verify that the title commitment includes a clause specifying the lender's name. B. Confirm that the title commitment is issued by a title insurance company approved by the lender. C. Ensure the title commitment contains an appraisal report of the property. D. Check that the title commitment is dated within 30 days of the closing. Answer: B. Confirm that the title commitment is issued by a title insurance company approved by the lender. Explanation: lenders often require that title commitments be issued by title insurance companies that are approved by them. This ensures that the insurer meets the lender's standards and that the title insurance policy issued will be acceptable to the lender. The other options are not specific requirements related to lender approval of the title insurance company and do not address compliance with lender requirements. Question 17. Theoretical knowledge. In title insurance, which principle is primarily concerned with addressing the risk of loss from unknown defects in the title? A. Principle of risk avoidance. B. Principle of indemnity. C. Principle of risk of loss. D. Principle of subrogation. Answer: C. Principle of risk of loss. Explanation: the principle of risk of loss focuses on protecting against losses that arise from unknown or undisclosed defects in the title that were not revealed in public records. This principle ensures that policyholders are covered for potential risks not anticipated or recorded at the time of the policy issuance. The other principles address different aspects, such as indemnification, risk management, and recovery of losses. Question 18. Title search and examination. During a title examination, what is the significance of a chain of title? A. Is a record of all title insurance claims made on the property. B. It is a chronological sequence of property ownership transfers and interests. C. It is a document showing the current market value of the property. D. It is a list of all encumbrances and liens recorded against the property. Answer: B. It is a chronological sequence of property ownership transfers and interests. Explanation: the chain of title is a chronological sequence that traces the ownership history of the property. It is crucial for establishing clear and marketable title by showing how ownership has transferred from one party to another over time. Understanding the chain of title helps in identifying potential issues or gaps in ownership history. The other options describe different aspects of property records but do not accurately define the chain of title. Question 19. Title insurance policies. What is a common limitation of a standard title insurance policy in terms of coverage compared to an extended coverage policy? A. Standard policies do not cover claims related to access issues. B. Standard policies include coverage for zoning violations affecting property use. C. Standard policies cover all recorded liens and encumbrances. D. Standard policies protect against all risks not specifically listed in the policy. Answer: A. Standard policies do not cover claims related to access issues. Explanation: Standard title insurance policies typically do not cover certain risks such as access issues, which may be included in extended coverage policies. Extended policies provide broader protection, including coverage for unrecorded easements and access issues, whereas standard policies focus on more common, recorded title defects. Understanding these limitations helps in determining the appropriate level of coverage based on property-specific risks. Question 20. Closing and settlement. If a buyer's lender requires a final title policy to be issued before the closing can proceed, what is the best practice for the title company? A. Issue the final title policy immediately upon receipt of the lender's request. B. Wait until the closing is complete to issue the final title policy. C. Issue a preliminary title report and finalize the title policy after confirming all conditions. D. Refuse to issue the final title policy until the buyer has paid the full premium. Answer: C. Issue a preliminary title report and finalize the title policy after confirming all conditions. Explanation: The best practice in this scenario is to issue a preliminary title report, which provides the lender with an initial overview of the title status and then finalize the title policy once all conditions are met. This process ensures that all requirements and conditions stipulated by the lender are fulfilled before the final policy is issued. Here's why the other options are less ideal. A. Issuing the final title policy immediately upon request might not account for any unresolved issues or conditions that need to be addressed. The final policy should only be issued once all title issues are confirmed as resolved. B. Waiting until after the closing to issue the final title policy could delay the closing process and might not ensure that all lender requirements are met before the transaction is completed. D. Refusing to issue the final title policy until the full premium is paid might not be practical if the premium payment is contingent on the issuance of the policy. Title companies typically require the premium payment as part of the closing process, but withholding the policy could hinder the closing process. Question 21. Title search and examination. During a title search, a title examiner discovers an unrecorded deed of trust. What should be the title examiner's primary concern? A. The deed of trust is irrelevant if it is not recorded, so the examiner can ignore it. B. The examiner should verify whether the deed of trust is valid and if it could affect the property's title. C. The examiner should proceed with the transaction as long as the property value exceeds the amount of the deed of trust. D. The examiner should inform the seller to resolve the issue before proceeding with the closing. Answer: B. The examiner should verify whether the deed of trust is valid and if it could affect the property's title. Explanation: An unrecorded deed of trust can still be a valid and enforceable lien against the property, even though it is not part of the public record. The title examiner needs to verify its validity and assess its impact on the property's title. Ignoring it could result in unforeseen legal complications or claims against the property. Proceeding with the transaction without addressing this issue could jeopardize the buyer's title. Question 22. Title insurance policies. Which of the following is a typical exclusion in an extended coverage title insurance policy? A. Claims arising from zoning or land use regulations. B. Claims related to fraud or forgery in prior transactions. C. Claims from undisclosed easements or rights of way. D. Claims arising from recorded liens and encumbrances. Answer: A. Claims arising from zoning or land use regulations. Explanation: Extended coverage title insurance policies generally cover risks such as undisclosed easements and certain rights of way, which are not included in standard policies. However, zoning or land use regulations, which pertain to how property can be used according to local laws, are typically excluded. Understanding these exclusions helps in selecting the right type of policy and assessing coverage limitations. Question 23. Legal and regulatory framework. Under Maine's title insurance regulations, what is required for a title insurance agent to maintain compliance with record-keeping rules? A. Agents must maintain records of all transactions for a minimum of 2 years. B. Agents must ensure records are kept for at least 5 years and include detailed notes on each transaction. C. Agents are required to keep records indefinitely, regardless of transaction details. D. Agents need to keep records for only 1 year if there are no claims filed. Answer: B. Agents must ensure records are kept for at least 5 years and include detailed notes on each transaction. Explanation: Maine regulations require title insurance agents to keep records of all transactions for at least 5 years. These records must include detailed notes to ensure compliance with state laws and to provide an accurate history of each transaction. This extended record-keeping period helps in resolving any future disputes or claims. Question 24. Risk management and claims handling. When handling a title insurance claim, what is the first step a title insurer should take? A. Immediately compensate the claimant for the estimated loss. B. Begin an investigation to determine the validity and extent of the claim. C. Reject the claim if it involves an issue not covered by the policy. D. Consult with legal counsel before acknowledging the claim. Answer: B. Begin an investigation to determine the validity and extent of the claim. Explanation: the initial step in handling a title insurance claim is to conduct a thorough investigation to assess the validity and extent of the claim. This investigation helps to verify whether the claim is covered under the policy and to determine the appropriate resolution. Immediate compensation or rejection without investigation could lead to improper handling of the claim. Question 25. Practical applications. A title company is preparing to issue a title insurance policy for a property with a recent boundary dispute. What should the title company do first? A. Issue the policy with a standard coverage while noting the dispute in the policy. B. Obtain a resolution of the boundary dispute before proceeding with the policy issuance. C. Provide the buyer with a disclaimer about the boundary dispute and issue the policy. D. Ignore the boundary dispute if it does not appear to affect the property's market value. Answer: B. Obtain a resolution of the boundary dispute before proceeding with the policy issuance. Explanation: before issuing a title insurance policy on a property with a boundary dispute, it is essential to resolve the dispute to ensure clear and marketable title. Issuing a policy without addressing such issues could lead to future claims and complications. Proper resolution and documentation of the dispute provide better protection for both the insurer and the insured. Question 26. Theoretical knowledge. What is the primary purpose of the principle of subrogation in title insurance? A. To transfer the title insurance policyholder's right to pursue claims against third parties to the insurer. B. To allow the insurer to cancel the policy if the insured makes a claim. C. To indemnify the policyholder against all potential title defects. D. To offer additional coverage for unrecorded liens. Answer: A. To transfer the title insurance policyholder's right to pursue claims against third parties to the insurer. Explanation: the principle of subrogation allows the title insurer to step into the shoes of the policyholder and pursue claims against third parties responsible for the loss. This principle helps the insurer recover costs from those who caused the title defect or issue, thereby protecting the insurer's financial interests while compensating the policyholder. Question 27. Title search and examination. What is the significance of an abstract of title in the title search process? A. It provides a comprehensive history of all title insurance claims. B. It summarizes the history of ownership and encumbrances affecting the property. C. It details the current market value of the property. D. It lists the names of previous property owners without detailed transactions. Answer: B. It summarizes the history of ownership and encumbrances affecting the property. Explanation: an abstract of title is a summary that provides a chronological record of the property's ownership history, including any encumbrances, liens, and other interests affecting the title. This document is crucial for identifying potential issues and ensuring the title is clear and marketable. Question 28. Title insurance policies. Which endorsement is typically used to cover risks related to zoning issues in a title insurance policy? A. ALTA 9 endorsement. B. ALTA 6 endorsement. C. ALTA 8 endorsement. D. ALTA 10 endorsement. Answer: A. ALTA 9 endorsement. Explanation: the ALTA 9 endorsement provides coverage for zoning issues that may affect the property. It ensures that the property is used in accordance with applicable zoning laws and regulations. The other endorsements cover different types of risks and issues. Question 29. Legal and regulatory framework in Maine. What is the minimum number of hours of continuing education required for title insurance agents to maintain their license? A. 10 hours every 2 years. B. 20 hours every 2 years. C. 30 hours every year. D. 15 hours every year. Answer: B. 20 hours every 2 years. Explanation: Maine regulations require title insurance agents to complete a minimum of 20 hours of continuing education every 2 years to maintain their license. This requirement ensures that agents stay current with industry changes, legal updates, and best practices. Question 30. Risk management and claims handling. What is the primary purpose of conducting a title risk assessment before issuing a title policy? A. To determine the premium amount for the title insurance policy. B. To identify and evaluate potential risks and defects that could affect the title. C. To establish the market value of the property. D. To finalize the closing documents and settlement statement. Answer: B. To identify and evaluate potential risks and defects that could affect the title. Explanation: a title risk assessment is conducted to identify and evaluate potential risks and defects that could impact the property's title. This process helps in determining the appropriate coverage and ensuring that the title is clear before issuing the policy. It does not directly impact the premium amount or property value, but is critical for protecting against future claims.